Call this meeting to order at 9:30 a.m. In accordance with Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, the open session portion of the meeting will be held remotely, and members of the public will not be able to physically attend the meeting. It will subsequently be broadcast on youtube.com. Okay. Lincoln, did you want to speak now?
Yes, I sure. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry, I just was distracted by something here, but thank you so much for having me, folks, this morning, and really looking forward to working with all of you. And it would be great to spend a little bit of longer time at one of your future meetings. I want to participate longer. Unfortunately, I have to, same time here, I'm multitasking a little bit and need to be in a training today. But that said, thanks for making the time this morning. I just wanted to speak with the board a little bit. I've received some communications from mostly residents about what criteria and the possibility of reopening town hall and other town buildings, and what criteria we might want to use as a town to think about when that reopening might happen and what it will look like. It is going to be the subject of Board of Selectmen, one of the agenda items tonight at the Board of Selectmen meeting. And certainly, at some point, either tonight or in the near future, we'll want to get a vote from the board about what their ideas are about what criteria we should use, but definitely wanted to get a recommendation from you folks to the Board of Health and get an idea about what criteria we should be thinking about when we're discussing that with the Board of Selectmen. So I know Dan and Barbara and the other folks, in the health office there, it sounded like you folks sort of had a recommendation or an initial thought anyway from you, Barbara, about what maybe that should look like. So regarding being in the green for a few weeks, but I mostly wanted to get your thoughts on it. And I know Alexis, I think, had some thoughts as well. So that was why I wanted to spend a little time with you folks and get your input.
Yeah, I think with how we were talked yesterday for that brief moment, I think our big thing is getting Whitman into the green before we start allowing public back into the building, but we're definitely open to that once we see Whitman start trending down, which the last week we did trend down, but we're still at a 5.33 positivity rate as far as residents getting tested. So we had just under 1,500 residents get tested in the last 14 days, and 79 of them tested positive. So we're still looking to bring those numbers down. And then I think everyone on the board, once we see green, with obviously some mandates in place when we opened, would be open with having the town hall open to the public.
Okay, great. Yeah, so is it fair to say that, if we as a community are in the green for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, is that fair to say that the board would be supportive of opening? I mean, what should we say? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
I would say,
I know there's no right answer, but it'd be great to get a sense from the board members.
well, my feeling would be we could discuss it at that time. And I think 3 weeks. I don't know how Dawn or Mary feel. Do you have any?
I agree with you, Barbara. I think discussing it at the time, I've seen so many towns reopen and then have to reclose because of an incident so, I mean, I don't want to see that happen. I think that if we're going to open, we should open and feel comfortable with that, not have to close a week later, and that's just my opinion.
Well, that's why I think the 3 week, at least 3 week in the green or yellow, whatever the better one is.
Yeah.
It will show that it's starting to stay at that point, because that gives you extra time, because every time it comes out, it's for 14 days, and then the 14 days overlap. So
Right.
I appreciate that input. So, and just to be clear, how I feel about it is, I'm not a public health expert. You folks are the ones following the science. I'm not going to push a particular, oh, we should open at this point or that point. I mostly kind of wanted, and I appreciate very much this opportunity. Mostly we just want to make sure that we're all on the same page about what criteria we're going to use. So what I'll, with the approval of the folks on the call here, I'll report back, to Board of Selectmen that we're looking at probably to discuss further at the time, but probably 3 weeks in the green, and then having reopen, obviously, continuing with the social distancing and masking protocols as wherever they're, whatever they are in place there at that time from the CDC. The one other thing that I'd like to pursue, it would be great to get the board's thoughts on this, is to have a sort of liberal interpretation of what open by appointment means. So making sure that one thing we pursued in Hanover when I was the finance director there, which I think worked well, and knock on wood, avoided any kinds of outbreaks, was having a prominently displayed on every door at town hall a listing of the phone numbers for every office, and then dependent on staff's comfort level. We're fortunate that in each office there was at least one staff member in each office who was comfortable being masked and going to the door and briefly interacting with a member of the public. If, for example, they wanted to come in and just pay a quick bill, and hand somebody a check, and for whatever reason, they didn't feel comfortable putting that through the door. It gave people a lot more comfort. I'm handing somebody my check. Or if they're literally, dropping off their voter registration card, it's a really simple, quick transaction. With the masking, obviously, we're not having, a 15-minute interaction as a close contact. So that's what I was intending to advocate for. It'd be great to know if the members of the board have any concerns with having having a little bit more of a liberal interpretation of by appointment only. And if there is somebody in a particular office that's comfortable going to the door, having that quick interaction with the member of the public, I think it would go a long ways towards, towards making folks in the community know that we're still here and accessible. So.
Yeah, I think Dawn can speak on. I know she's been doing it. She's been meeting people at the door when it's convenient for both parties and trying to help anyone in the public with convenience. And a couple of us at the Board of Health have also been doing that. Can't really speak on the other departments, but I know some of them have been doing that. I think that's just something we have to talk about with all the staff and just make sure someone's comfortable if they are. I think that's definitely is a good solution to be in contact with the public for the time being until we get into that green zone.
Yeah. So you're right, Dan. I have been doing it. I've been doing it since this whole pandemic started. Mm-hmm. And in my office, I take the liberty of being the one because I feel I'm the department head. I feel funny saying, Mike, will you go? Or what I'm saying? I just feel uncomfortable doing that. So for the most part, I go unless I'm not available. The problem that I have is people not being truthful when you go to the door. So I had, I'll give you an example without using names, a person that wants to get married and they have to fill out an intention. And that is something that does take 15 minutes. And I have actually come up with a different solution where I'm trying to shorten that time. Anyhow, and they're coming from Texas. And I'm like, don't you have to wait for it? He wants to fill out the paperwork fast. I'm like, you have to wait. I believe it's 14 days if you're coming from a different state to our state. And people don't plan on doing that. And they're not being truthful. So that's what happened in my office. I became more restricting because I found people were fibbing. So as far as as you said, like voter registration and paying bills, that's what the drop box is for, in my opinion. We check it twice a day, in the morning and in the afternoon. If there's something that can't wait, sometimes one of the cases that my office has is somebody that has an appointment to get their federal ID, say, and they didn't have their birth certificate. I'm willing to work with people, but everybody's got a reason, and everybody's got a. So I have to kind of make my policy be, one size fits all, because it's not fair if I do it for one and not for the other. So I think the Dropbox is the best tool. And then if you have, my issue, as you know, Lincoln, is having vendors come in. I have a couple of vendors that,
Yep.
that need to come in, and, I got my voting machines, and they have to be maintenance. They can't be brought out to the, we've talked about a few things with Lincoln about, setting up appointments on Fridays. That was a no-go. And
Is that,
So-
and to that point, and I, that was, I wanted to follow up with you. Well, I can follow up with you offline on that, Don, and we'll definitely figure out a way to make that work. But I would say, yeah, and I definitely want to respect that. I mostly kind of want to make sure that the Board of Selectmen is okay with it. As far as meeting folks at the door, if individual staff members aren't, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to, to have some sort of like requirement. I mostly kind of wanted to just make sure that the board was okay if people voluntarily in a particular office were okay doing that. But I totally understand your point about fibbing and and part of that, and I'm here to be a resource on that. Part of that is being tough with people and saying, no, this is really for a quick interaction. If we need to have a longer interaction, we can set up a phone call, we can set up a Zoom call, we can do whatever else, but this is really not what this is for. And I would say, people need to be, tough. I mean, kind and helpful, but tough on that, because we need, we're in the middle of a pandemic, for goodness sakes, So
I think this
so
far in,
I just want it to be an option, but I'm certainly not going to sort of require people to do that from my perspective. So
yeah, I think this far in, most departments have already come to some type of
I think that's true, and I kind of mostly just want to formalize it and make sure that the board's good with it. But I think you're right. I think we're mostly pretty much already doing this. I just want to make sure that it's a little bit, the news is a little bit further out there in the community that this is an option. But I agree with you. I think for the most part, we're already doing this. I just want to make sure the word's out, so.
perfect. Yep.
That's good.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, folks. Again, I'm looking forward to spending a little more time with you and working with you and getting to know all of you better. And happy to answer anything quickly now, but I'll let you get on with your meeting too, if that's all for today.
I think that's all for today, unless Barbara or Alexis or anyone else has a quick 2 cents.
No, I'm all set.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
You
No
too.
problem.
Take care.
Okay. I need a motion to approve the minutes for January 5th and January 21st, 2002.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. Any questions? Everyone's read them, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to take a roll vote. Dawn,
Yes.
Mary? Mary, you can unmute. Well, I'll vote yes also. And we'll just say she didn't vote.
Will you tell your mom how to unmute? Okay. Yeah. Hi, Mary.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh, she's helping her.
She's having trouble
She's
unmuting.
having trouble unmuting. Okay.
Okay, so I can put her on speaker on here.
Okay,
Okay?
all right.
I'm gonna put you on speaker, Mary. Okay, hold on.
Okay,
I hit the unmute button, but it's not unmute me for some reason.
Okay,
okay,
we've got you on speaker now, so everyone will hear you when you respond.
okay. So,
Thank you so much. I second their motion.
Okay,
okay, we're voting. Dawn voted yes, I voted yes, and Mary, you're voting?
Yes.
Okay, okay. All right. And now I need a motion to accept the read file.
I'll make that motion. Yep.
I'll
Okay,
second it.
okay. Any discussion on it? I think everyone came in and read the file. Okay, so we'll take a vote on accepting the read file. Dawn,
Yes.
Mary, yes?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll vote yes. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I need a motion to approve licenses and permits as issued.
I'll make the motion.
Okay,
I
second,
will second it.
okay, we're getting a, an echo, a feedback from Mary. Okay, now I need,
Sorry, guys.
no, that's okay. I need a vote now. I need a vote to approve it. Okay. So Dawn,
Yes.
Mary, yes, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just bear with me a minute here. These are out of order for what I've got here. Okay. Now I need a motion to approve the annual report and annual health, the annual report and the animal inspector's annual report for the year ending 2020.
I'll make the motion to accept it. It was actually done very nicely. I don't know who did it, but good job.
Okay, so Dawn made the motion, second?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'll do a roll call vote. Dawn,
Yes.
Mary, yes,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Okay. 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 I need a motion to rescind the appointment of Alexis Andrews to the following positions: Animal Inspector, Special Police Officer, South Shore Recycling Cooperative Board of Health Representative, Health Inspector Department Head, and Milk Inspector.
I regretfully make that motion.
Okay.
How's
and-
that?
Good. Second?
I second it.
Okay. Roll call vote. Dawn,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Okay. Now I need a motion to appoint Dean Kelly to the following positions: Animal Inspector, Special Police Officer, South Shore Recycling Cooperative Board of Health Representative, Health Inspector Department Head, Milk Inspector.
I proudly make that motion.
Yeah, okay, and I will second that motion. And we'll do a roll call. Mary has to abstain. Dawn
Yes.
and myself, yes. It's hard because I'm hearing that. No, it's okay.
Okay.
Okay, our next thing is to, I need a motion to appoint Dawn Varley as rabies ad agent retroactively. That was missed the last time appointments were made. Mary, do you want to make that motion? Because Dawn can't.
Yes, I will make that motion.
Okay, and we'll vote. I vote yes, and
I vote yes.
Mary votes yes, and Dawn abstains. Okay. Now I need a motion to appoint Jennifer DeFasto. Oh, wait, yeah. Did I miss, Dawn, were you gonna do something about Mike or something?
We need to make, amend that, vote. Actually, if Mary would turn down the, her volume on her computer, because I think that's what we're hearing. Because I keep hearing myself twice or something. So we have to change the language of that motion from Michael to rescind Mary Holland as burial agent.
Okay,
It says on the minutes to rescind Michael Ganchett.
yeah.
It was, we need to amend that motion or amend that to say rescind Mary Holland as burial agent.
Okay, all right, so I need a motion to amend the agenda, which states rescind Michael Gansher as assistant
Yeah.
burial agent, and say that rescind Mary Holland as assistant burial agent.
Correct.
Oh, okay, so to have a motion to amend, I will motion that.
No,
And, is Mary still there?
I can second it. Oh, no, I can't because I made the motion.
No,
Hold on, we got disconnected.
it got disconnected, hold on.
Okay.
I love it. Oh, gosh, let me get back.
I know you just can't have your phone and your computer right next to each other. You gotta be
No.
on the phone or you gotta be on the
Yeah, we
computer. Yeah.
just lost Mary,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to get her back.
You want to move on or?
Yeah,
what the-
we can table that one. for
Okay,
now.
I'll just also mention that you can press *6 on a phone to unmute. So if she's not coming in by phone, I believe *6 will be the fix.
But we need to hear.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's-
no, great.
Thank you.
I think her phone hung up is what the problem is.
Right, that's,
Okay, why don't
that's
we,
what happened.
okay, why don't we table that one for now? We'll go back to that one. Okay. And we'll table,
Okay, we've got you back on. Now we
is she
lost you.
back?
Oh, she back.
That's okay. Okay. That's okay. I'm gonna put you back on speaker, okay? Thank you, Mary. Okay, we're good.
Okay, Mary, we are amending the agenda which said to rescind Michael Ganchard as Assistant Burial Agent to rescinding Mary Holland as Assistant Burial Agent. And I made a motion for the amendment. We need a second.
I will second that.
Okay. All right. So the motion, I will vote to, I guess we have to vote to amend. So I vote yes, and Mary,
I vote yes.
okay, and Dawn abstains. Okay. Now I need a motion to appoint Jennifer DeVasto as Assistant Burial Agent with a term to expire 6/30/21.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I need a motion.
I will make that motion.
Okay, and I will second it. Okay, now we will vote. Mary?
Yes.
And I will vote yes, and John abstains. Okay, so that's all set. Okay. I guess the next thing we want to do is have our health inspector discuss his report and read file and introduce himself.
So as everyone here knows, my name is Dan Kelly, but some people may not, and I'm the new health inspector and department head for the town of Whitman. I'm very happy to be here, and I look forward to working with everyone in town, not only at the hall, but just our local businesses. So far, they've all been great and very respectful. And my main job here is to help keep the community safe. And my goal is to not only make sure the businesses are following the rules, but are aware of them. I want to work with them, not against them. That's kind of one of my main goals. So far, I've accomplished a lot, even though I've only been here for 2 weeks. We've been working closely with Chief Greno and Danielle Clancy on all things COVID, which has obviously been a huge part of our concern lately. They've both been wonderful to work with, of course. And I want to say thank you to everyone here, especially Dina, Barbara, and especially Alexis Andrews, who has made my transition very easy and has gone swimmingly. Alexis will be leaving us Thursday, so I just want to say thank you to her publicly. She's been great. And yeah, so I'm feeling very confident in my abilities to perform the duties as department head and health inspector for Whitman. I look forward to it. So it's a little bit just of an introduction, and then I have my report here that I think everyone here should have. Obviously been trying to get back out and do different inspections as they're a little bit halted from COVID with a lot going on. So I did a ton of routine inspections. Can read off a quick list if people want, or I don't know if
I don't
it's,
think we need it, Dan.
yeah, I don't think
We've
it's
all
too
seen it.
necessary, but
Well, I've actually experienced you working with the people in the office, and I feel confident that you're going to do a great job.
well, thank you.
And I welcome you. Okay. All right.
Should we, obviously we discussed the COVID things with Lincoln about opening town hall here. Hopefully in the near future. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I don't know if there's anything else we should touch on right now.
I'm good. I don't, Dawn?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add?
I think I said like how I feel.
Yeah,
And I think we're already doing where, I don't turn generally anybody away. There's always a solution, whether, and I even see like the collector's office, people are paying their bills. There's so many options. You got online, by mail, the Dropbox, and then you have by appointment if necessary. I don't think it's fair to put anybody in jeopardy going to the door. If we're closed, we're closed. If the Board of Selectmen feel, I'm just going to give you my opinion about this. If they feel that we need to be closed, I think going to the door for appointment is kind of, backstroking to their what, unless it's, like I said, it is kind of a one size fits all with this, because if they can't drop it in the Dropbox, we pick it up twice a day, and we work with everybody. I don't think I've heard anybody talk badly about my office. If they have, they haven't done it to me. And we deal a lot with the public and people needing things. So we try to help them as much as we can with every department. So, and I've seen the building department leave things taped to the door, and I've seen a lot of other departments. I talked to the new veterans agent, and she's doing what she can. And I haven't heard, I don't know about you guys, about too many people complaining. They want us open. I met a gentleman at the door, and I was like, he wanted to come in. I'm like, well, what can I help you with? I don't need anything. I just want to go in. It's kind of strange. They want to just come in. So I don't know what they think's going on inside, but we're definitely not having a party. We are working, and so I think we're at a good place. And it goes to show you we've had COVID inside, and that's without having. So then you're going to open the doors to, like I said, people who aren't always truthful. And in my personal life, I've been trying to be restrictive, and I don't know. That's just my feeling. I don't want to die. How's that?
I think one thing we should also mention before we do wrap up today is that we've been trying to work closely with the state on getting vaccines, especially for our elderly population. I know there's been a ton of questions. I just figured maybe mentioning it publicly would be good. Right now, we were ready to run clinics, but then we ceased to get any vaccines. So without the vaccines, we can't run clinics. Hopefully in the near future, we will get vaccines. And if we do, the public of Whitman will definitely be hearing from not only the Board of Health, but probably the fire chief and also Danielle Clancy about being able to obtain their vaccine, and hopefully getting everyone vaccinated that wants it, and continuing to move towards that green zone we keep talking about. So I just figure we should mention that before we do get offline today.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I think that our fire department does a wonderful job, and
They do.
And I'm not sure why, or we have a great system that they have, that Greno has put in place to be ready for this. And I'm not sure why the governor has decided what he's decided. And I don't agree with it. And I feel bad for the general public. I have family members who have been waiting, and my mother, she's 79, and I don't care if you offered her $10,000. She will not go to Gillette. She won't.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people like her. And then there's people, I have one of my registrars, she's 96. Her daughter lives in Florida. I mean, she's going to have to ride with somebody and risk something to, her exposure. And I just think that the governor really needs to think about the residents instead of, who's the bigger guy, just the people themselves. I'm not really sure where his mind is at. But it's hard too, because the information when people call, it's been, I've given Danielle the list of all the residents with phone numbers so she can call. And, things like as the town clerk, I've been doing stuff like that to help them out. But the list is no good if you don't have any vaccine.
Right.
Yeah,
And I just want the public to know that it's not us. We're ready,
No.
willing, and able.
Absolutely.
We can't do anything.
Absolutely.
Badly.
I mean, right to Allison, right to Mike Brady, right to the governor. I mean,
Everybody
people can
is.
do, yeah,
Crazy. It's really crazy.
yeah.
I'm not sure we made a motion to accept Dean's report, so I need a motion to accept the health inspector's report.
I will make that motion.
Okay, and I will second it. And we will take a vote, roll call vote. Dawn,
Yes.
And myself, yes. And I'm gonna have Mary abstain because I just don't know if it's proper. So we'll be in the right no matter what we do. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
the only other thing we have in front of us is, and Dina, we should speak about this because I'm not sure how, anything about it, but there's a software program out there that we are, we've been asked to join for permitting and that sort of thing, and she has some information about that. Oh, someone's-
You can probably hear me from there. So
Is there a
Permanize
switch you
has,
want?
yeah,
Could
that's
also
fine.
do that.
Thank you. So Permanize has an approval process built into the software. It allows you to add users that can approve the licenses as people go online to fill out new licenses. So we stamp them now. You don't really have a meeting and approve licenses. You do it after the fact. The question is, in Permanize, does the board want users to have your own users so that you can approve licenses as they come in? Or do you want to continue to do it the way we do it now, where signatures are stored and I can approve them and you can vote on them after?
Barbara, I would like your opinion on this, so.
I don't really understand all of it. It's something about, is it electronic signature, Dina?
Yes, you can store the electronic signatures, kind of like now with the
Rather
stamps.
than a stamp.
Exactly.
So I guess what we need to do is we need to determine who we want to sign them, right?
Correct, correct. If you want to go through the process where you're actually physically approving each license, you would have to determine who you want to be set up as a user to do that. Or we can store the signatures and I can continue to do them and just notify you guys.
Yeah, I can't store my signature. Is that what you're talking about, the board
And I think-
signature?
I think, yeah, I think that was the issue, Dawn, too. Is
Mhm.
you wouldn't be able to.
Mhm.
But we've always issued them with at least 2 signatures anyway.
Right.
Right.
So that wouldn't be a problem because you'd have 2 board members, or you could even possibly say a board member and the department head, health inspector. But maybe that's an option. But.
Yeah, and you gotta have
The
two,
point is they're gonna be electronically stored, and I do know that that's an issue with yours, Dawn.
yeah. And other people too, because if they're electronically stored, who has access to them?
Would it be just you, Dina?
It's
or-
just the user, right? Whatever user is set up to do the approvals, that would be myself, probably Dan as well. That would be the people that would be, have access to those signed signatures and would assign those signatures to the approval.
Okay. So how does that sound to everyone?
I'm not doing it, so.
Mary's speaking, hold on.
At our board meeting, until we have a better idea of how some of us that are older that aren't that savvy with computers and stuff, we could have a discussion about it later when we do get back together again.
Well, I think it's stored. Once your electronic signature's in there, it's stored. You don't need to be the one to do it, right? Am I right, Dina?
Right, right. You have the
It's
option of
like
having.
using the stamp, but it's in the program.
Right, so the question is, as we set up this system, you have the option of what users you want to have access and what type of authority that user has. So you can either set up users for the board and the board would actually go in and approve these licenses and they would apply their signature stamps basically. Or you can leave it the way it is and it would be myself or Dan and we would approve with the stored signatures. And like we do now, you would vote on them as approved at the meetings.
Right. I guess the issue I have, I would go more for using Dina and Dan because board members may change.
Correct.
So I think that, I think we have to put our faith in our office staff, which we always have.
Thank you for that.
Well, to do the right thing. I mean, the licenses that have to be issued and what was required to get them, you don't issue them without all their proper documentation.
Right.
And don't really want to see a whole lot of electronic signatures in there.
There would be 2, because you currently need 2.
Yeah, 2, yes. Yeah. Dawn?
Is this something, Dina, is this something that is more helpful to you, or is the old way just as easy? I mean, I'm just wondering why the change.
This is by far a much more secure and better system. It's moving electronically. It's allowing a easier access for the residents to apply for and get their licenses. They can actually do everything online. It's a more accurate system than what we're currently using.
And the building department's using it, right? Am I right?
Right, the building department, I believe the assessors will be using it at some point. I guess that it's a townwide effort at this point to go electronic.
I say that we should go with the thing that's upcoming. We know that that's where the future is going. Everybody's going to be doing it this way. We better get on board now rather than later. And I'm sure you guys can figure this all out, no problem. So a board member doesn't have to be a signature. It can be you and Dan. Is that what I'm hearing?
It has to be a board member's signature, but we can store the signatures kind of what we do now with the stamps. So it'll be a board member's signatures, but it'll be Dan and myself who'll be approving the licenses.
That's fine with me. And if the other people are uncomfortable using your signature, I'm willing to use my signature. That's fine with me. And obviously, I don't know how much longer I'll be on the board. I'm up for election on day, so I might not be on the board next time. But if I am, I would be willing to have you use my signature.
Well, and I guess the good thing right now too is that after election, we will have one new three-year member, and Dawn still had, well, Dawn can't do it though, but we'll have one new three-year member. Okay. And we'll have either Mary or, for the other one for a year. That, I guess that's the part that makes it hard for me, is that if the board changes, and what happens to that signature? Does it get like deleted or?
Yep, we override it with whoever comes on board.
Okay. All right. It's hard to visualize these things when you don't have someone giving a presentation. I mean, you're doing great, Dina, because you've read all the stuff, but it's just like difficult to, for some of us to digest.
I have one more question about the software itself. So, because I think I was they tried to have me switch over to the dog portion of it, and it was all great because it's free, because they're using COVID money. However, after after you buy the initial software, there is a fee to using it, and who's going to absorb those costs? Do you know, Dina? Has that been discussed, or?
This was something that I was told has already been purchased through the town. I have no idea what the funding was, how it was arranged. I was just advised that we're trying to get it set up for the board to start using.
Yeah, I believe there's a fee that you have to pay yearly and things like that. So that's something like budgetary that we'll have to think about as a board. I think I'd like to see the program myself. Are you using it, or the board is, you said the building is, right?
The building department, I believe, is using it. We have not started using it. We have to determine what users we want to use and how we want to approve. So that's what the reason behind putting it on the agenda, because I need that information to give to them so they can start set and give me a demo so that I can start looking at the software.
Yeah, I'd like to see the demo and stuff like that myself, but I wouldn't mind being a user, but my signature, and it's not anything personal. I just my signature is like used statewide and stuff, and I have state documents that I sign. And not that I don't trust you, it's totally, if it's on the internet, it's more than just you and Dan, trust me, that can have access to it.
Okay. Well, I guess we need a little more information, do you think?
I do. I think we should table the decision on, that's my opinion. You guys can do whatever you want. I'd like to see it. But you have to have the approval of using signatures to go forward. Is that what you're saying?
No, in order to set up, I have to send him information that he can set up a system for me. So one is what users would we want, so he can set up the users, and who's going to be approving, how are we going to do the approval process. So that was the question today is, are we gonna do it the way we do it now, where I'm using stored signatures to approve? Or did you guys want your own users that you would go in and look at licenses and approve them?
Well, I think we should be able to go in and look at licenses only because, Barbara, look at, you're the chairperson, and if something should happen, you need to be able to, when there's no staff, who was doing the work? You.
Yeah, we would have to have one board person, definitely.
But who do you know who's gonna be the chair? You don't. That's what I said. I
No,
mean,
we really
if you
are.
made us all users, I don't think, I mean, I don't have time to go looking at them, but if I should need to, in the event that there's somebody absent or whatever, then I think it wouldn't hurt to make the 3 board members. And there again, like Barbara said, it's gonna change or it's definitely changing in May, because we know we're gonna have a new 3-year person, but so I don't know how that, you can talk to the software company as far as how easy is it to add a new user and delete a new user and things like that, because it does change with the board, or can.
Wouldn't be a problem adding a new user or deleting one, but again, if you can't store your signature, you wouldn't be approving them anyway.
Right. So you need this permission in order to just actually do the demo, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if we do the demo with just Dan and Dina right now, just to get.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
That sounds good to me, if that's what can be done.
Yeah, that's fine. We can set it up with just Dan and myself, and we can always use just fake signatures, John Smith, just to see how the system is gonna work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best route to go right now.
Okay,
Because we
that
don't-
sounds,
We're not even sure how it works, really, And they can't show us until we give them some information.
right.
Okay.
Sounds good. Well, so we're gonna make a motion to allow Dina to go forward with the software using her and Dan's signatures and maybe a John Smith or other signatures as needed, but none of the board members
Yeah, for demo purposes.
for demo purposes, correct?
Okay.
So I'll make that motion. Does that sound good?
That sounds good to me. Mary, what do you think? Okay, Mary's gonna second it. A roll call. Dawn,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Okay. Okay.
Thank-
Anybody else have anything else to come before the board, or did I miss anything on the agenda?
I think we about covered it all.
Except that we need to thank Alexis for
Yeah.
being our health inspector and department head for the last 5 years. We will miss you, but we
Put her on camera. Let's say goodbye. Bye, Alexis. Well, I'll see you around anyways,
I want
but
to say thank you for everybody, to everyone for giving me the opportunity to work with you all. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I feel totally comfortable leaving Dan and Dina in charge. They're going to do a great job. They're fabulous people. They're very competent, and I know they'll just do great. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you, Alexis, very much.
Okay, so do I have a motion to adjourn at 10:13?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. And roll, Dawn,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
and myself. Yes. Okay, thank you all.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah. See you later.
Right.